Okay, this has to go. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I'm sick of it. It's gone. You're done. It's over. Okay. Okay, we get it. We get it. We get it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll just shut the car off. Oh, what's that? The car's off and you're still beeping at me? Cool. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be permanently removing that annoying chime that you just heard. And I know what you're thinking, oh, that's easy. All you gotta do is take your seatbelt and sit here and click it 20 or 30 or 100 times. And that's not what I'm doing today. I am permanently disabling it. You'll never hear this sound again in my car. And I know what else you're thinking. Why don't you just wear your damn seatbelt? And you have a good point. I always wear my seatbelt. I never drive this car without wearing one. I will never let a passenger ride in my car without wearing a seatbelt. I physically won't start driving until their seatbelt is on. That is not the problem here. The problem is every time you start your car, oh, okay. Every time your doors open, so there's a lot of instances where this gets very annoying very quick. And for somebody like me that's constantly working on their car, maybe you got the auxiliary on so you can listen to a little bit of music and you got the door open and you're working on something or you're vacuuming the car out or you're doing whatever. You got that ding going the entire time and it is so frustrating. There's a couple things to note, couple disclaimers. Number one, your music is still gonna dim. So when that dinging happens, your music still gets cut down in volume until you put your seatbelt on or do whatever it wants you to do, which is fine because I always drive with my seatbelt on anyways. It's also going to disable all the other sounds as well. So your turn signal, you will no longer hear that sound because that is coming from the same speaker. It also will not audibly make any noise when the check engine light comes on, the TPMS light comes on, any kind of service light comes on the dash. And that is also another benefit because here in Pennsylvania, it's really cold right now and it is constantly freezing weather outside. And every time I'm driving the car, it'll get to a sweet spot where it's not quite cold enough to activate it, and then it gets cold enough, and then not quite cold enough. And so the car keeps putting on the dash, roads may be icy. And I know that. I can see that it's cold outside. I understand the roads can be icy, but it keeps flashing on and off, and every time it does that, it goes boop. It's just so frustrating. So today I'm permanently disabling all of that. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Don't go in the comment section saying, oh, you're an idiot, because I know the side effects. I know what it does. I know about the seatbelt thing. I just cannot stand it. It's my car. I need to get rid of it. So if you guys are in the same boat as me and you are absolutely so annoyed by this, today is your lucky day because I'm removing it on my vehicle and I'm going to show you how to do it on yours. So when I was working at Import Image, I had this whole dash out of the 22 WRX there, and I vaguely remember how to do this, but I'm not 100% on it, so just bear with me as we kind of figure this out together. There is 2 Phillips head screws and or 10 millimeters, whichever you prefer, in the top portion here, and that's going to remove this hood cover. I'm pretty sure this piece pulls out. So on this side over here, we will just pull down on this tab. We'll work our way up to the radio bezel and start pulling on that. Kind of work our way around the radio bezel. So unfortunately, almost everything in this car is kind of like intertwined and like snapped in together. So if I come on this side of the cluster and I start to pop this trim up and out, you'll see I can kind of pull up and out on it, but it kind of gets stuck underneath this bezel for the radio. I don't want to rip the whole dash apart. I'm just trying to get to the essentials. So now we can get this out of the way. And it looks like we're going to have 1 Phillips head screw here and 1 down on each of these corners. So we got to get to this one, which we might have gained access to. We're going to kind of pull on the push start stop button and move that out of the way. That sounded scary, but it wasn't. Okay, I can now see and get access to the Phillips head screw underneath here. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but with this out of the way, it is kind of right there, if you can see that. So then with everything kind of loose, we should just be able to pull this out. So we have a Phillips head here. We have a Phillips head right down here. And then we have the one I just showed you up in there. And this instrument cluster should come out. So here goes the one on the top. So with those 3 screws removed, we should, in theory, be able to pull this out. And of course, the trim has a mind of its own. And you have this like carpet thing going on underneath of it to hide the gap in the steering wheel and everything. So we're not actually going to pull this out. We're just going to kind of drape it down. So then on the side here, you're going to have a little black and red wire going to a connector. You'll disconnect that. You'll come on the back side and there should be 2 more connections that we'll remove. All we have to do is pinch on them and they will come out. And there we have our cluster. On the back side of this sucker, right there is your culprit. That is your speaker that does all the noises, all the clicking, all the crap. So we are literally just going to take a Phillips head screwdriver and remove these 3 screws. Once you have those 3 screws removed, you can kind of pop this speaker out and you'll see a little clip in there holding it on, and we can just unplug it like so. And then we could kind of tape this all up and stick it back in there, kind of however you want to do it. If you're wanting to permanently remove this, you could just cut the wires and call it a day and stuff it back in there. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do here. I guess I'm probably just going to reinstall it like this, and then I'll just, I don't know, 3M tape this in there. All right, we got that annoying speaker all taken care of. The connector is taped up where it's not going to be rattling or causing any issues. And we can now put this back in. So I am going to just sit this back in here, plug everything back in the way it came out. No more noise. Let me just show you what I meant about the turn signal. So as you can see, you're not going to have a noise for your turn signal anymore, but you have a flashing light, and it's not that hard to remember to turn off your turn signal. So that's it. It's gone. Well guys, as I said, I don't condone driving around without a seatbelt on. But for instances like me where I get home, I pull in the driveway, I get out of the car, I get the mail, I'm not going to throw my seatbelt back on just to drive 2 feet around the building to come to my garage door. And it just gets really frustrating. So hopefully this helped you guys if you were considering doing this. It seems scary, but it's really not. You just got to take your time, be patient. It's like putting together a puzzle. It really is. Like everything's kind of intertwined, but it's all plastic clips. It's all very simple besides those couple Phillips head screws we had. And that is everything. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section. But this is something that I would highly recommend doing if this chime annoys you guys as much as it annoys me. As I said, it's not just a seatbelt. It's a little bit of everything. So it's gone now. It is permanently gone. You don't have to do no seatbelt click bull crap. It's gone. Just make sure you wear your seatbelt. Make sure your passengers wear your seatbelts, and you'll be good to go. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.